as you guys know, we've been talking about it, blasting it on Twitter, etc. We have Ryshon Jones calling in right now, so we're going to interview him. He's a Philly native. He's been doing music for a while. I personally started listening to him, I think, in like 2011. So it's good to finally be able to interview him, because one of my first times I was supposed to, I got really sick and I wasn't able to, so I I had to apologize. So I finally get to. I'm really excited. He just dropped his project, Hope is a Dangerous Thing, and we just played his track, Why You Want to Be Perfect. So we're going to get into that and talk to him and ask him about it. Let's go.
Yo, what's good? What's good, Ryshon?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, fam?
I'm cold. I'm like outside in Philly right now because I like lose service in the crib. So.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man. That's real, man.
Hey, man. I like was about to call like 3 hours ago because I forgot the time difference.
Yeah. No problem. We forget that too, definitely. But we just played one of your tracks, Why You Want to Be Perfect. And I wanted to ask you, like, that was one of the tracks that stood out to me personally, because you say, this song for every girl in the world that fall to the misconception of the world. The model chicks you want to be ain't really real. How long you gonna hide behind that filter? Can you discuss, like, the insecurities and pressures that women of today face from media and different things like that? What were you talking about in that song?
I was actually talking about a few of my friends directly. They just will never know. But I just, it really, I think it came from Instagram. Mad people just put on shows for Instagram, and like girls, like they filter every picture. It's like, what's the point of putting up the picture? And so I'm like, oh, hey, no filter when it's clearly a filter. You clearly have makeup on.
Right, thirst traps.
That song
for
actually
real.
wasn't even supposed to make it. Like I recorded that the night before it got released. Like it wasn't even supposed to be on there.
I love that song, personally. And when the beat drops, I was telling them, like, I love that part. The whole song is cool.
Yeah, the guy that made it, we was in the studio, and that's not even how the beat goes. Like, it's a whole different beat. And I was like, yo, can you take this out? Can you take that out? Can you take that out? Can you take that out? And just leave the drop at the end of the beat. Like, so it's just that's a whole another different beat when you hear the original.
Wow. That's so cool. It definitely came together. And in the song, you also said that you basically said your sister had more confidence than these girls that you were talking about. Would you ever be worried that these pressures would impact her as well as she grows older?
No.
No?
They won't. I doubt that. My sister, like, she has this little app on her phone where, like, it lets her sing songs. And, like, the other day we were in the room and she was just singing songs. And it got a little bit annoying because I didn't want to hear it. But she was like, yo, I'm killing these songs. And, like, at 11. So it was like...
Wow. That's great. That's a wonderful thing, for sure.
Yeah.
That's too cute. So today, I'm sure you know that it's the 10-year anniversary of College Dropout. And
of course.
In another previous interview, you noted that it was one of the first albums that you ever bought. So can you tell us about how that album influenced you or impacted your music career?
I can tell you, I used to like lie and say I knew Kanye West when he came up. Like I was in my class, like, yo, I got Kanye West calling me right now, but it was just my dad. And I think the impact that it has on me now, it didn't have that same impact when I first got it because, I was still, it didn't hit me the same. I didn't understand everything all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But, just as a whole, it's just, I think that man as a person, he's just one of the people that pushes you to want to, like, just be fearless and, get your stuff out. Like if he's like the, kind of like I watch the Grammy Awards or any kind of award show if he's on it just because I want to see what kind of speech he's going to give us.
Yeah.
He's one person that you can just listen to, I don't agree with everything he says, but, the majority of it, it's pretty, it puts you in the right place.
Definitely. And it's funny that you mentioned that as well, because how old were you when College Dropout came out? Do you remember?
I think I was I don't know. I was in the seventh grade.
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade or sixth grade? No, seventh grade.
And then, like, I
So
could see why you wouldn't be able to really comprehend it or understand it the way he would have wanted to, because, you know, you're so young. That's how we feel, too. So we had to
yeah,
go
you know,
back and listen to it, you know?
yeah, like space. Like the first song I liked off top was "Get 'Em Hot," but it
Mm-hmm.
was because of the beat. You know, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
like the
man.
beat that stuck out the most. But like, you know, like even though today is like the 10-year anniversary, that's an album I maybe play maybe twice every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it never gets old. I put it up there with like, you know, next to like Illmatic or like Reasonable Doubt, as far as like our artist debut album just being like
Yeah,
a
man.
classic.
For
I couldn't
real,
agree
man.
with you more.
Yo, that I literally woke up and I was like, "Oh shoot, let's go ask," because you know, that interview and stuff. Like you saying that was one of the first albums you bought. It kind of like, you know, sparked something. I was like, "Man, that's crazy!" Like really how old that album is, and it just seems like yesterday to me. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, 10 years is like that. I mean, like, 10 years, that's a long time. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm getting old.
yeah. And you know, just once again, we thank you for coming on the show. And for if you you know, Ill Vibe Theory, we're actually based out here in Las Vegas. And another thing that actually caught my eye is you know, back in 2011 with Double XL The Break, you said that your record Date with Doubt actually played on Hot 97.5 here in Las Vegas. So how'd that come
Yeah.
about, man?
I believe it was Bootleg Kev,
Oh,
if
Mhm.
I'm
okay.
not
Nice.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Bootleg Kev played me a handful of times out there. Like, I don't know if he's still out there, but I believe that he was the guy that played it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's the homie, man. And
He's in Arizona, I
yeah,
think.
I think he's Arizona right now. But oh, that's crazy to me because I was like, what? Like, you know, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
And
that
another
was like
thing.
my
Oh,
first
I'm sorry.
like radio play.
Oh,
Wow.
and it's crazy. How's that feel? Like, you know, you're from Philly and it played in Las Vegas. This is completely.
Man, how long we got? I don't know. That's another story.
Definitely. And another thing that stood out to us, we work really closely with both Shake of Two Dope Boys and Andreas Hale,
Yeah.
who's our boss for the Well Verse. And, you know, you had your documentary with them when you were at South by Southwest, and you talked a
Yeah.
little bit about them. How did you meet them?
Well, Andre, I got introduced to him by my friend Jamie. And, you know, he just always like show love to like my music and everything.
Hmm.
And I ran into him trying to find Knife Wonder because my manager had found Knife Wonder and gave him one of my mixtapes, and he's like, "Yo, Knife Wonder said he heard you wherever you at, you gotta come here right now."
Wow.
And we ran around like for hours trying to find him, and then I walked into him during an interview with Knife Wonder, and like, he kind of stopped the interview to say what's up to me, which kind of like blew my mind.
I could
And
imagine.
like Shake, I don't know Shake as well. I mean that much. He posts my music a little bit, you know, but like, you know, he's definitely like somebody I used to spam on Twitter. Like one time he was like, I told him to check his email, and he was like, I started to listen to your song, but I thought about you know, something else to better do in my life. But you know, I think that's just how it is when he's playing with like rappers trying to get his music heard about him.
Yeah. Yo, that's a crazy story with the Ninth Wonder situation. Whoa.
I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine
I mean,
such a legend doing that.
I don't know if he heard the stuff or he didn't like it, but some of my fans definitely like tweeted him like a handful of times. You know.
Wow, that's great. That's really cool. And also, in a lot of your interviews, it's been mentioned that you have, you know, this dark storytelling aspect to your music, which isn't new to you. And it's kind of like emo rap to a certain extent, if we had to put a term. And do you think, what were you going to say?
I said it's kind of boring, but go ahead.
But do you think that it has worked to your advantage because it sets you apart from others? Or have you ever been worried about that aspect?
I mean, I don't like it because, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd rather somebody call me an emo rapper, you know, because it means my music has some sort of emotion and it got to you in a way, you know, it might not work, but, you know, it still has, you know, it got some effect on you. And all, like, real music has emotion in it.
Definitely.
I don't really spend too much time on worrying about if that sets me apart or trying to set myself apart. I just lately I just try to stay in my bubble and just do what I like. and just appeal to people that want to hear it and the people that I think would like to hear it. I don't like
Definitely.
try to like worry about, oh, I gotta do this or be that, or if I gotta keep doing this because it'll keep me this way. Because I feel like I stopped being as dark as I used to be, and I lost like mad fans because of that, which is fine because I don't want to do the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that because even like when I first listening to your music, well, I first started was probably around like I think 2011, and it was when you had like I mean, She's Leaving for College was in 2010, and from that point when you had your music, it was very dark, but it was intriguing because it was like, wow, I never heard something like that, so detailed, and it was metaphorical in my opinion. So to see that you from what you have, Hope is a Dangerous Thing, I think it's like a complete flip. Like it doesn't even sound like the same person in a good way, like there's clear progression
Yeah.
from what you started as.
I felt like a new artist with that one, like because it wasn't even supposed to happen, and like we did it like in the same day I announced it, I deleted the tweet, and like Beyonce dropped her album at midnight, and I was like, man, this is crazy, but we just did that like in like 2 3 weeks and just put it out. Like I don't even like it that much anymore because like I feel like I could have spent more time on it, but like I like it for what it is, and like as long as the people that really, really, really support me like it, then that's all that matters. Because that's kind of it was just a project for the fans because I haven't given them anything in like a year.
Definitely. No, that project is nice. I really
And
enjoyed it.
and with Hope is a Dangerous Thing. It's you also refer to it as a zip file. So
Yeah.
you mentioned that you said 2 weeks actually putting it together, and I also read that it was originally supposed to be an EP. So
Yeah, five
you know you
songs.
you have like the features of you got a lot of dope records, a lot of dope production, poetry, and a lot of interesting intermissions. Can you tell us a little bit how like you pieced it together in 2 weeks and how that came?
Um. Uh. Yeah, it's just like finding putting an idea out there, and then like once I put it out to the world, I can't take it back. So from making it 5 songs, it just it became more serious. And like far as like piecing it together, like adding like the interludes and the poetry and everything like that. That's always been a part of like all my projects. Like all my projects are made for you to play it straight through. So I like it's like kind of just all based on finding that zone and just knowing what you want to do. But that one was just like off the grip, just like on some random, like, yo, let's just have some fun. Like I never really have fun making something, and that was like the first time I had fun. And I done put out like 80 mixtapes, and that was the first one I actually had like legit fun doing.
Oh, for sure, man. Like it's just kind of it's crazy to me just the way you said that the 2 week situation like man, this is just applaud to you with that whole situation.
Yeah, that's like like She Leave for College was done in a weekend, but the whole thought process was like maybe 3 to 4 months. So I think since I hadn't recorded that much music over the year, I was just observing life. It kind of became easy to just knock out because I had all this stuff like just built up inside.
Yeah,
So you know,
and with that being said too, I did read a little bit as well about writer's block and stuff. So and I know
yeah.
so can you explain like that situation? I know I forgot what the record's title was exactly. Apologies, but the record you actually wrote about writer's block. Can you tell us a little bit about like yeah.
That joint, I remember that. Well, writer's block, it usually happens when I'm like, man, I want to say this, but like sometimes I have this thing where I just feel like I'm just not getting heard how I want to be, and like not on some like, yo, I'm great, listen to me, but just on some like I just want people to just like, did you hear what I just said just now? Like, yo,
Yeah.
that's like legit serious. So like it'll happen from that, and I'm like, man, I want to say that over. Then I'm like, I don't want to say the same thing over and over again, and then I'll just like just go into a rapper moment of just like not writing anything. Writer's block, it's usually just a subconscious thing. It's just me overthinking. Like, all right, don't do this or do it this way. It's like actually, I think it's a misconception to be truth be told. Like,
Nice. And that kind of leads into our next question. In one of your documentaries, or in your main documentary that you have on YouTube now, one of your friends was talking about how it's hard for people to understand or grasp your music, and even himself at times. So in your song that was, it was a standout track, American Dreamless, you say, "He too deep, what the F, I don't get him." Does it ever frustrate you, like that people don't comprehend your music or match your intellectual lyrics?
Um, yeah, but no, because I always be like, maybe I suck to certain people, like certain bloggers. Like I had a blogger the other day, and she's like, "Hey, usually when we don't respond, it means that we don't like it. So please stop emailing me." I'd rather that than somebody not saying anything. But like I can't make somebody like me. So like sometimes I don't always pin it down to a point of like, oh, I'm just too different for them. They don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it is like that. Like some people are just closed minded and it's just it's not their cup of tea. But I can't. It depends on what day it is, because sometimes it really it just pisses me off because of course you want to be heard and get on bigger platforms but that's with the type of music I make and the type of person I am, like I think the longer it takes, the longer it is when everything is all said and done, like the longer it'll last. So it's always been a process.
Definitely.
And kind of going, kind of piggybacking off of that, and kind of going back earlier when you were talking about how you said, what was it? That you like that even though some people might feel some type of way about your music having whatever kind of feel to it, that at least it invokes some type of emotion. And so obviously you reach the people that you want to reach, or that want to be reached, So you noted that your music helped the fans stop popping pills. And I can't imagine how crazy, that would feel. And how does it feel as a musician to know that you have so much power to influence people?
I don't know how to wrap my head around it. I don't think I'm supposed to, because when I make music, I'm not saying, okay, this is going to help somebody stop popping pills.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I'm making music, for myself, or to get out some sort of emotion, or just the art of it. It's like somebody that colors. They just like coloring because they like how it looks. So I can't really. I don't think I'm ever supposed to be able to wrap my head around the idea, because one is just unbelievable. Like I can't even, I never can grasp that at all. Even being here and hear you hear you're like quoting lyrics, it's just like, wow, like I didn't, it never hits me.
Wow.
All I can say is like, wow, like I don't know how to take a compliment for anything.
So would you say it's like humbling, almost like what, like you're saying like, wow, like that's crazy. Is it a humbling experience for you to hear stuff like that?
It's just wow. Like I can't. It's just like wow.
Yeah.
Like I'll sit there and just be like, wow. Like you won't get nothing else out of me but wow. Like yeah.
Right. And kind of going backwards too. I wanted to ask you this earlier, but you were talking about how you quit your job to perform at South by Southwest, and that's such a huge experience, like especially coming from an upcoming artist at the time. So can you tell us about that experience? Like you said it was one of the longest and worst drives of your life, and like just tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, wait, where did I didn't know that story was out like that. Like I knew it was like you just said something that I didn't know people knew that much, but like
it was in your documentary.
We drove down there, like what was it, 27 hours or something like that, and it was cool. Like it was cool because I always wanted to be at South by. So like even though I had quit my job, losing like the whole income thing and health insurance, whatever, I just was pushed by the fact that I was a part of that festival that I always wanted to be a part of, and I had like a real show there. I ran into like a lot of fans, so it was like kind of starting a new life, you know, because I always wanted to get out of my job anyway. So
Really?
like I had a reason. I had a reason to go.
No, that's amazing. I think that we sometimes, even, with our young lives, like, we encounter that situation where it's like, go to school or follow your dreams, do it, do other things that are important to you. So that, I mean, it wasn't as tough of a situation or a decision for you because, you said that was an excuse for you, but sometimes it can be. So mad props for that.
I think that's very admirable that you chased after your dream, like, yeah, okay, income and, benefits and stuff
I'll
like
be
that.
real.
But
If I could have seen the result of South by of that first experience, I probably wouldn't have quit that day. I probably because I needed to quit because I needed a whole week to be there, and but it was worth it in a way that had nothing to do with the South by experience. It was like the after effect of like the people that I met and worked with and everything like that. Like we would have never got as close as we were if it wasn't for that trip.
right.
And man, there's just so many things. In your Double XL interview, you were asked, and just going off of like solely based off of hearing the passion that you put into this, you were asked that what is your main goal in hip hop, and you said to tattoo my name on all of my peers' brains and to grab the souls out of the listeners. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
That was kind of weak. Like what was it? Oh, 11 and 11.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
it was a while
I
ago.
probably wouldn't say that now. Like
That
I think,
intrigued us though, so that's nice.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I just have this thing. As I grow, I just look at other stuff and I just like, man, like why did you say that? But I think it was just a saying like how I was saying how it's just a process for me to get heard, but like the longer the journey is, the longer it stays.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it's just saying I want to be remembered. I want to be somebody that they mention when they say, "Yo, this guy really this guy really got me through a lot of stuff."
Right. So, I mean, you said that was weak. I think that's kind of funny because I really liked it. It really stood out to me. But what would you say now? Like, since you said that you didn't really like how you said that, what would you say now, present day?
What my goal is?
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to be able to make everything count in a way where I get my platform and I'm able to, put other people on because I like live to help people, like just, because there's some people that just don't have nobody to take them serious or just have somebody to like, even give them the air. Mm-hmm. So like, I definitely want to be a person who, puts people on, that's like one of my goals because it's like, it's a lot of happiness in that situation of just make somebody else happy and, making them follow their dreams. That's like probably worth more than money, So like aside from like having my obvious or like, having a cult following and being able to tour and, have money and make a living off of what I want to be and be happy. Mm-hmm. That's definitely like, one of my main goals.
Wow.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Definitely. And we picked out like a lot of your lyrics because they are things that do stick with us or, they are intriguing in that way to, we just really liked how you say things. You say it in a really good way.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And we played one of your songs, as we said before, Why You Want to Be Perfect. And then we're going to play another one of your songs later that we really liked. But we wanted to get into this song, American Dreamless, because a lot of blogs were talking about this is a standout track, this is great, blah, blah, blah. And we felt that way as well. So if we could have you introduce that track, and then we could play it for the people, and we're going to talk a little bit more after that.
All right, well, this is probably an awkward introduction, but this is American Dreamless, produced by Holly off of Hope is a Dangerous Thing.
All right, here we go.
American dream got stripped for its meaning. Tiptoe on the edge of desire, I'm leaning, falling victim to the things I never questioned. If I can get the things I need in my possession, expressions on my canvas, bodies, blood, sweat, and tears. I hope that peace don't smear. And some days I fear being ahead of my time. Now that might sound strange, but I'm speaking my mind. Listeners, we can exchange. For your ears, I give you real shit. It's a time and place to make you move, make something that move you getting fearless. For your heart, I give you a ticket to inner peace. Inner peace, yo, put the mic down to my soul, let that shit hum a melody. Big enough to clear these black clouds over me. My visions of me balling, more realer than me falling. Got lost in instrumentals, I think I missed my calling. Yeah, America dreaming. Yeah, America dreaming. Yeah, America dreaming. Tell me what is the meaning if America's dreamless? Yeah, America dreaming. Yeah, American dreaming. Yeah. American dreaming, tell me what is the meaning if America's dreamless? If this is your first time hearing me, you about to experience something so free. Nightmares of being unaware, a dream killer left for bound where I lay my head. Yo, dissect my intellect, beats that says punching bag and playing life's instrument. This better get your interest. Overnight celebrities you never remember. Somebody come in, I may needed a glimmer. Feel a halo of something good, the older it linger off. Good karma and bad karma, I can't decipher it all. I guess the cause defeated. I guess the car's defeated. Take you to a lake of E&J and say it's holy water that need cleaning. Sip that, you leaning. Then I tell you the meaning of being a victim to God's criticism. He too deep, what the fuck? I'll get him. A prime example while I wish y'all was ready. Go track the whip on the road to do better, holding the wheel steady. A prime example while I wish y'all was ready. Go track the whip on the road to do better, holding the wheel steady. Yeah, American dreaming. Yeah. American dreaming, yeah. American dreaming, yeah. Fire fall from my face on my victory lap. Never calm before the storm, cause it's hard to relax. Tell you how to do it, but don't say the consequence. You control where you go, my net is common sense. Hey, this is watching a star fall without wishes. I swear it's like a curse to be gifted. Compare your faith to $1 where your issue pile up. Justify my luck, justify my luck.
Where history, and prophecy is concerned, and I witness, and I know, say, every man has to go face them judgment, And none but ourselves can fear our mind. 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 None but ourselves.
Ramen through the night, I'm just ramen through the night. Ramen through the night, I'm just ramen through the night. Ramen through the night, I'm just ramen through the night. Ramen through the night, I'm just ramen through the night.
You reach for the closest pin, closet writer, and you wish no one ever asked you what you wanted to be, because in that instant you felt the whole world on your shoulders and remembered that you were just a soldier at war fighting with your army. You breathed and remembered your voice created an army all on its own. You weren't alone. All right, so we just played American Dreamless by Ryshon Jones, who we're talking to right now. We really love that track. Can you tell us a little bit about like the inspiration behind making that?
It's actually it was supposed to be on the upcoming album track 15. And it's just about, what everybody strives for today. It's almost like, what is it worth? Are we doing this because that's what it seems like we're supposed to be doing, and that's what people, highlight as, the American dream. Like, I have a video coming for it, which is pretty, I don't want to talk about it because I want to make it something that, makes people, just question everything. But I think the video will bring a lot of things to light, and explain everything that I was talking about in there. But I was listening to that song last night, and I was just like, man, if I can just perform this on a late night show, like Jimmy Fallon or something, that really just, man, I don't even know why I told y'all that. That's just something. It's just something I was just thinking about last night, and since you were actually just playing the song.
Yeah, no, that would be dope. That's why I could really picture it, like dim lights, maybe candles or something in the audience. Like it's deep to me, seriously. So, and I didn't mean to throw you off guard with playing that song. It's just you were talking about how you wanted to be remembered and things like that. And when I heard that song, I was like, wow, that's going to be a staple track for him, you know, years from now. So I was like, we have to play it now. So, didn't mean to throw you off guard.
It's all good. Thank you.
Definitely. And that was all of our questions. Is there anything else that we can expect from you in the future? I know you're working on your album, so that was kind of something to hold out the fans, you know, because you hadn't put out music in a while, and you have visuals for those songs. What else can we expect?
You just gotta wait, cause I think it's so corny to tell people what you're about to do. So you just gotta wait. I don't want to talk about nothing.
No,
I got some stuff, but I don't want to talk about anything.
Surprises. No problem.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, we wanted to thank you once again for taking the time out to do this. I know we had to cancel before because of technical issues, but I feel like it was meant to be today. So we appreciate you. Yeah. So thank you so much. And, you know, we'll always be playing your music. We'll post the stuff on the website and everything. Can you tell the people where they can find you on social media and all that?
It's Ryshon Jones, Ryshon Jones, Jones. And same thing for the website. I'm getting a new website redid, but you know, you can still go there right now, RyshonJones.com, and you know, see all the interviews, videos, and all the music and everything like that.
Perfect. And any last words?
Hope It's a Dangerous Thing. Not literally, but the project is out now.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. You have a good one, okay?
No problem. Thanks for having me. All right.
For sure. Take care. Bye.
I said, set it out for my